Hi guys, today I'll be playing auto electrician. I'll be replacing my radio in my Subaru. Got this one for one of those salvage yards where they disassemble parts from crashed cars. So hopefully it's gonna work. The only problem is it doesn't have a SD card with a maps. I do have an SD card in my car, but looking at the internet, it seems they might be paired with a radio, and buying new auto maps is something like, I don't know, 140, 200 something euros. So terrible price. Still, the amount they wanted for the radio and the official service, it was tremendous. I'll be also replacing these lights. As you can see here, these LEDs start failing. On this side, I think only 3 are still working, and the other one, 2, or actually one's flashing. And then it's gonna be a simple replacement. Just pop these out, pop those in. But unfortunately, some bees. Unfortunately, it seems you have to take the whole bumper off. While Subaru has very interesting solutions for replacing, like the oil filter. You see it's right up here. You just unscrew the filter, pop in the new one, no problem at all. So with electricity, it seems to be a bit more difficult. And also, I got this little device here. See this? Martin Defense. Well, it's not only an ultrasound, but it has this cable running around the car someplace. And they could have made it orange, but no, they made it black like the other cables. And when you touch it, it shocks you with high voltage. And while that won't kill you, if you're underneath a car, hands stuck up there, and it shocks you, the muscles will contract, and you can do some harm to yourself when you hit the forehead and the metal parts. So I think we'll need to switch off electricity first, and as they say, without much ado, let's get on with the job. So to start off, maybe we'll see if there's some covers here on the bottom. So maybe we'll just be able to take this off without taking the whole bumper off. As you see, I'm using my phone as a mirror to take a look down here. So it seems we might do without taking the whole bumper off. Unfortunately, the first problems arise. All these plastic parts, clips used for mounting, as you can see, they fall apart during disassembly, crack. Well, the plastic does have some years now. So unfortunately, I didn't get any replacement beforehand. We've got the weekend now. So hopefully with the ones that are okay, we'll be able to assemble everything together. And then we'll definitely need to buy some and get them replaced. So we've got another problem up here. The lights are this whole segment here. But as you can see, this is only half. And then this blinding here is one piece. So we need to cut off this bottom part nicely in some way. Hopefully without any rough edges. See, one of the lights is already disattached. Really interesting solution with these power supply jacks. Hermetic connectors. Must be really expensive with all these connectors. And I got the control module already also disassembled. Fortunately, didn't have to take the bumper off. I was able to reach down there. But as they say, you need gynecologist hands. Had to go in through here and reach all the way down there. So it looks like we'll manage. So as you can see, full success. Just need to arrange the cables, assemble the rest of the hardware. But the weather is as it is. So let's go inside and take care of the radio now. So when it comes to the radio in general works, although it does forget the station sometimes. It doesn't connect to Bluetooth. It connects, disconnects, doesn't recognize the phone. So I believe it's probably the capacitors which dried out. A common problem with some of electronics. So we need to replace it. And looking at this radio and how it's mounted, it has these ears here. So I believe you have to disassemble this whole panel. So let's hope it just is snap in place and we'll be able to easily remove it without causing too much damage. Oh, so I just watched a dozen different movies on the internet and on YouTube, how to remove a front panel, or rather the bezel of a whole air conditioning which is around the radio. There was some videos showing that you have to remove a glove box to get to some cables, which you need to unhook first. But I have a fully electronic air conditioning, so these just turn around and you don't have any mechanical connection going down there. So it's just sufficient to wedge something in here, pull the whole panel front, and as you can see, it's nicely released. The only problem is how to unhook this cable from this hazard light button here. I guess you need gynecologist hands again. Okay, so I managed to take the radio out. The most difficult was this plug here. So it's this one here. Had to use a screwdriver to push on the tab up here because it's really hard. All the other ones you can press with your fingers, but with this one it's good to use a screwdriver. Otherwise you'll have some difficult times trying to get it out. Also this plug on the bottom here, this is the grounding plug which slides on here. That's also a pain, but if you wiggle it around side to side, it should give. And now for the moment of truth. Will the SD card from the old radio work in the new one? When you please press info, otherwise it may be damaged. Well, so we didn't follow this instruction. Let's hope nothing bad happened. English. So there's a female voice, a male voice for Polish. Street names not announced, street names not announced. So do we want Polish or do we want English? Street names announced. I think it's better to take English then, although the pronunciation of Polish names will be probably really weird. So I don't know, since my wife will be driving this car, I think I'll choose Polish. Fuel economy. So it seems that full success. Everything's working fine. The map displayed. That was what I was most worried about. I thought that the SD cards might be paired with a radio, but apparently everything's working fine. So now just to assemble everything back together. It stopped raining, so we also assemble the outside and we'll be done for the day. So wondering why the open gapping hole again. I had to take the radio out because I connected it. Bluetooth worked fine connected to the telephone, but there was no audio. So I checked the radio, also no audio. So apparently something's wrong. Maybe I did some mistake with the cabling, but well, you cannot swap around the plugs. I plugged them all in, so I'll connect the old radio again. I'll check that. And if that one does work, we'll need to replace this one. Well, that company that sells these salvage radios had two other ones, so hopefully one of the other ones will work. Although, as you can see, quite a bunch of work to do to get this installed. I'll probably need to install the panel so my wife will be able to drive around next week. Tough. Okay. So the old radio put back in, but as you can see, it doesn't want to work without the SD card. As you can see, the old one has audio, one new one doesn't. So unfortunately, we need to get it replaced. So, unsuccessful with our radio, but with our lights, full success. I even replaced this bezel on one side already. There was no problem cutting this off with one of these knives. So, cut it along this edge here, and as you can see, fits perfectly. So hope you like it. Of course, if you like lights like that, you'll find the link below. And that's it for today. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and see you again soon. And I guess I just need to get a bath now, all dirty with mud, grease. So that's it for today. Cheers.